Hello students, today I am going to do the Year-End Evaluation 2019 Grade 11 paper, that's Department of Education, Sabaragamuwa Province. So this is paper 1, you get 2 hours. You already know there are 2 parts in this paper, part A and part B. So part A you get 25 short questions and each question worth 2 marks. And what about part B? You get 5 long questions and you get each 10 marks for that. And what about time? Spend 2 minutes maximum for each question in part A, and in part B you can spend 12 minutes per question. So the spaces are given in this paper. So make sure that you write all the answers in the space provided. So let's do paper 1. So this is part A. You get 25 short questions. So questions 1 to 7 in the first page. Questions 8 to 13 in the second page. And questions 14 to 20 in the next page. And 21 to 25 in the other page. Then you get part B. First and second question. And next page, third and fourth, and the last page you get question number 5. So let's do this paper. Let's take question number 1, simplify. So algebraic fractions are there. So we'll simplify this, 3a squared over 2b into 8b over a. Then what you do? You can cross out 1a. And you can cross out 1b. 2 times 1 here, 2 times 4. So what's the answer? 4 times 3, 12. And you get 12a here. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 2. Represent 10 to the power minus 2 is equal to 0.01 in logarithmic form. So 10 to the power minus 2 is equal to 0.01. Now can you remember 10 squared is 100. How can you write in log notation? You can write log, base goes here, 10, 100 is equal to 2. So 10 squared is equal to 100. Now the index notation is given. You have to convert to logarithmic form. So we'll take log, base is 10, so base goes here and the number 0.01 is equal to the index, so minus 2. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 3. Find the volume of water flow in a minute through a pipe in which water flows at a uniform speed of 200 milliliters in 5 seconds. So it's given 5 seconds. It's 200 milliliters of water. But we need for 1 minute. How many seconds for 1 minute? That's 60 seconds. So we have to find out for 60 seconds. So what we do? We can find for 1 second, that's 200 divided by 5, and for 60 seconds we multiply by 60. 5 times 12, 60, 2 times 12, 24, and 2 zeros are there. So this is in milliliters. So what's the volume there? 2400 milliliters. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 4. A person invested 20,000 rupees to buy shares of a company at the market price of 40 rupees per share. If he sold all his shares by making 3 rupees capital gain per share, find the total capital gain he obtained. So what's the amount he invested? 20,000 rupees, and What's the market price? 40 rupees. So from that you can find out how many shares are there. So number of shares, you divide the amount invested, that's 20,000 rupees, divided by 40 is the market price. So how many shares he bought? 4 times 5. So 500 shares are there. Now we want to calculate the capital gain, total capital gain. Total capital gain. So capital gain per share is 3 rupees and 500 shares are there. So what's the capital gain? 3 times 500. 3 rupees per share. So 1,500. 3 times 5, 15. So 1,500 rupees is the capital gain. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 5. Solve. So you need to find out the value of x. So first thing, you have to find out the lowest common multiple. So what's the lowest common multiple of x and 2x? That's 2x. So convert everything to 2x, multiply this by 2. 2 times 2, 4, plus 1 is equal to 5. Then 4 plus 1, 5. 5 over 2x is equal to 5. Then what you do? You cross multiply. So assume this is 1. Now when you cross multiply, what happens? 5 times 1 is equal to 2x times 1. Divide both sides by, here not 1, 2x times 5. Now divide both sides by 10 because 2 and 5 there. Divide by 10. So what happens here? 2 and 5, 10 get cancelled out. So you get x equals 5 over 10. 5 times 1, 5 times 2. Half is the answer. So again check, convert to the lowest common multiple and then what you get? Multiply by 2, 4 plus 1, 5. So you get x equals half. So 2 marks for that question as well. Question number 6. Using the information given in the figure, find the length of diagonal BD. So this is a rectangle given of rectangle ABCD. So we know angles in a rectangle is 90 degrees. So this is 12 means this is also 12. So how can we find out BD? You can use Pythagoras theorem. So apply Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse squared is equal to sum of square terms of the other two sides. 9 squared plus 12 squared. So what is 9 squared? 9 times 9, 81. 12 times 12, 144. When you add it, what you get here? 5, 2 and 2. 225. Can you remember what's the square number for 225? If you can't remember, then you can do the division and find out. 5 times 4, 5 and 5 times 9, 3 times 3. Can you see? 5 times 3, 15. 5 times 3, 15. 15 squared is 225. So you can write 15 squared is that. BD squared is this. So take square root both sides. You get BD equals 15. This is in centimeters. Make sure that you write down the units. 15 centimeters is the BD length. So here also you get 2 marks for that. Question number 7. Find the magnitude of x using the information given in the figure. So here these two lengths are equal. So what can you say about the angles? opposite angles are equal. So if this is 65, this is also 65 because of isosceles triangle. Then easily you can find x. X is the exterior angle. So what is x? X is the sum of interior angles of a triangle. So 20 plus 65. So x becomes 85 degrees. So you get 2 marks. Question number 8. A person paid his loan and the interest using the money obtained by selling his harvest. The pie chart shows the paid amount out of the total amount of money. If the total amount is 90,000 rupees, what is the amount of money he paid? So the total is 90,000, but this is a part, 150 degrees is the amount paid. So we need to find out the amount of money he paid. So out of 360, the full angle is 360. So out of that, this is only 150. Then you can multiply this fraction with the total amount. You get the paid amount. So paid amount is equal to this. Now how you simplify? 0 get cancelled out. 9 times 4, 9 times here 10,000. Then 4 times here, 4 times 25. So 2,500 into 15. So you can do it separately. 2,500 multiplied by 15 means 10 and 5. Multiplied by 1 first. And multiplied by 5. 5 times 5, 25. 2 remaining. 5 times 2, 10 plus 2, 12. So when you add it, what you get? You get 37,500 rupees is the paid amount out of 90,000 rupees. So 2 marks for that. Question number 9. A sector with one vertex of a square-shaped sheet as the center is cut and removed. So this part is removed. So only remaining this shaded part. Find the perimeter of the remaining portion. So how you find out the perimeter? You add all the outer lengths. So this is 7 means this is 7 and 7. So what is the arc length? This is a quarter of a circle. So quarter of a circle, first find the arc length and then add 7 and 7. So we can find out the perimeter using the arc length formula plus the 2 radii. So what you get? 7 plus 7. Then what's the arc length? This is quarter of a circle. 1/4 into 2 pi r. 2 pi we take 22 over 7 and r is the radius. So that's 7. Now simplify. 7 get cancelled out and 2 times 1, 2 times 2 and this one you get 11. So you get 14, 7 and 7 and 11. So what's the perimeter? You get 25 centimeters. Is this centimeters? Yes, it's given in centimeters. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 10. Underline the most suitable value for the first approximation to be 6.7. So far we know, we found out if the square root value is given, what's the approximated value? Now, the other way around. What you can do? Just multiply. Square root value is this. So, what is the squared value? So, we'll multiply 6.7 into 6.7. So, when there's a decimal, what you do? ignore decimal and just multiply 67 times 67 and then think about the two decimal places. So 60 and 7, 6 times 7, 42, 4 remaining, 6 times 6, 36 plus 4, 40. 7 times 7, 49, 4 remaining, 7 times 6, 42, plus 4, 46. Now add it, 8, 4, 4. And now you can keep two decimal places, 44.89. Which one is closer to this one? What's the whole number? This is approximately 45. So, square root of 45 is the correct answer. So, that's the closest value to this one, 44.89. So, you get 2 marks for that. Question number 11. In the parallelogram ABCD, BC is given AE. Find the magnitude of DEA. So, what is DEA? This angle. Now, look at carefully. This is a parallelogram. So, opposite sides are equal. So, this length is equal to this length. Now, what can you say? This is an isosceles triangle. AD is an isosceles triangle. And also, you know, opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. If this is 70, this is 70. Now, what is ADE? AED. AED or DEA? What's the angle? DEA is equal to 70 because this is an isosceles triangle. So, you don't have to write down anything because in the first paper, we are looking at only the answers. So, you get straight away 2 marks for that. Question number 12. Solve the inequality. 2x plus 7 is greater than 5 and represent the solution on number line. Now, first you have to solve this. So, 2x plus 7 is greater than 5. So, what you do? Take 7 to the other side. So, 2x is greater than 5 minus 7. What is 5 minus 7? You get minus 2. Then what you do? You can divide by 2. When you divide by a positive number, nothing happens to the sign. So, you get x is greater than minus 2 divided by 2 is minus 1. So, greater than minus 1 is not included. So, what we do? You draw an open circle and this is towards right hand side. So, we draw an arrow to the right. So, which region? So, this is the required part, x greater than minus 1. So, you get 1 mark for marking on the number line and solving the inequality. So, altogether 2 marks. Question number 13. If the set notation about the shaded area of the Venn diagram is correct, put a tick, or if it's false, put a cross on the table given. So, look at the Venn diagram. Shaded part is outside the 2 circles. So, you need to figure out what's the easiest way to do. We can put letters. First, we'll put letters. This is A, B, C, D. So, you need only A region. That's outside the 2 circles. So, we'll find out which one is this A union B dash. What's that? A union B dash. A is what? First, we'll find out A union B. That means inside the 2 circles, B, C, D. Outside means everything outside, not B, C, D. So, that's A. So, we need the A region. Now, we have to figure out whether these are correct. So, this is correct. A union B dash is correct because we need only the A region. Now check A dash union B dash and A dash intersection B dash. Can you remember when I was doing this lesson, I introduced a theorem called De Morgan's theorem. Can you remember? A union B dash is equal to, you get A dash intersection B dash. So same thing, but dash comes here and the sign changes. So this is called De Morgan's theorem. So easily, if you know that, you can apply De Morgan's theorem. So what's the correct one? This is same as A dash intersection B dash. So this is correct. Again, if this is P union Q dash, this is equal to P and Q. You write separately with dash. And union becomes intersection. So remember that it's really easy to apply. So this is equal to intersection. So this is definitely not correct. So first and the last one correct. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 14. Find the length of AC. That means this length. Using congruent triangles. So that means the two triangles are congruent. Look at carefully. ABE triangle and the other triangle, BCD triangle. So both are congruent. What's the case? So this is right angle triangle and here this angle is equal to this angle. So we'll write down ABE. So AE is given, CD, length is equal. And the angle EAB angle is equal to BDC angle. And also the angle is 90 there, EBA. EBA angle is equal to DBC angle. That's 90 degrees given. 2 angles and 1 length. So what is the case? Angle, angle, side. Because of the 2 triangles are congruent. ABE triangle is congruent to BCD triangle. Now, if the 2 triangles are congruent, the corresponding elements are equal. So what can you say about this length? This is opposite to this angle. Opposite to that angle is 6 plus 2, 8. So this becomes 8 centimeters, this length. Now, what about this length? This is opposite to this angle. Opposite to this angle in this triangle, that's 6. So this is 6 centimeters. Now easily you can find out the length of AC. So what's AC? AC is equal to 8 plus 6. Plus 6 is 14 centimeters. So you get 2 marks for that. So here what you have to do, you have to identify the corresponding elements of a congruent triangle. Question number 15, matrices. So you have to find out the matrix AB. That's multiplication. First you have to check whether you can multiply. How you do that? So you have to find out the size of the matrix. So this is 1 row, 2 columns, 1 into 2. This is 2 rows and 2 columns, 2 by 2. Now see, the number of columns in the first one is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So then you can multiply. So what's the resulting matrix? You get 1 times 2. So you can multiply. Now we'll multiply 2 minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 0. So what you do? You are getting 1 times 2 means 1 row, 2 columns. So how you multiply? First one is first row, first column. First row with first column. 2 times 0, 0, minus 1 into 2, minus 2. Now the next one, this is first row, second column. So you take first row with the second column. 2 times 1, 2, minus 1 into 0, 0. So you get 2. So this is 1 times 2 matrix. Answer is minus 2 and 2. So 2 marks for that. Question number 16. Find the value of tan theta if sin theta is 3 over 5. Can you remember the ratio? SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So that means sine ratio is opposite over hypotenuse and cos ratio is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan is opposite over adjacent. So here in this one, sine is given. That means opposite over hypotenuse given. So to this angle, so this is theta, sine theta, we'll take, this is 3 over 5 means this angle is theta. Opposite is 3. So sine theta 3 over 5, what is tan theta? Opposite is 3, adjacent is 4. Then tan theta becomes 3 over 4. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 17. Center of the circle is O. Using the information given in the figure, find the magnitude of x. So look at carefully. So if this is the center, EC is the diameter. Then we know this is 90-degree angle. Angles in a semicircle is 90 degrees. Then what is the other circle theorem that you have to apply? Now look at carefully. ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. If this is 110, what is this angle? 180 minus this, because the sum of opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So you get 70 here. This is 70 and this is 90. So what is x? X becomes 90 minus 70. You get 20 degrees. So 2 marks for that. Question number 18. Probability of germinating a certain seed is 4 over 5. How many seeds should be used to obtain 100 plants? So 100 plants are germinated ones. You get, but how many plants you have to plant altogether? So 4 over 5 means 100. Then one part you need to divide by 4. And what about total parts? You multiply by 5. So 5 out of 5 means you multiply by 5. So 4 times here 25 is 100. 25 times 5, 125. So you need to plant 125 plants to get 100 plants. So these are seeds actually, 125 seeds to get 100 plants. So 2 marks for that. Question number 19. The first term and the common ratio of a geometric progression are 5 each. Find the 12th term of it in the index form. So geometric sequence, progression, what's the nth term? A r to the power n minus 1. A is the first term, r is the common ratio. So first term is 5 and the ratio is also 5. So we can easily find out the 12th term, T12. 5 into 5 to the power. N is 12, 12 minus 1, 11. So what you get here? This is like 5 to the power 1. Same base, different powers. Multiplication, you add the powers. So 1 plus 11, you get 12. So this is in index form 5 to the power 12. So 2 marks for that. Question number 20. Find the area of the given sector. How you find out the area? So first find out the fraction. 45 over 360 into pi r squared. That's the full circle, area of the full circle. Pi you take 22 over 7. Radius is 14. 14 times 14. 9 times 5, 9 times 40. 5 times 1, 5 times 8. 1 8's there. Then 7 times 2, 14. This 2, you get 4 here. Then divide by 2 again. 11 with 2. And here again I can divide this by 2. That's 7. 11 times 7, 77 square centimeters, because this is about area. 2 marks. Question number 21. AB is the chord of the circle whose center is O. The perimeter of the triangle AOC, this length, all the lengths for AOC is 30 centimeters and OC is given 5 centimeters. Find the perimeter of the triangle AOB. So the bigger one. Now we can easily use the perimeter for AOC. So AOC means OA plus AC plus OC is equal to 30. All the lengths, outer lengths. But OC is 5. So what is OA and AC? That becomes, these two becomes 30 minus 5. That's 25. So that means this length and this length. According to the theorem, what you know about this? When you draw a line, perpendicular line to the chord bisect each other. So this length is equal to this length. And this is the center, so this is the radius. OA is the radius, OB also radius, both are equal. OA is same as OB, AC is same as BC. So what is the perimeter of OAB triangle? OAB triangle, OA plus AC plus CB plus OB. Now can you see this is same as this side? So this part is same as this side. So just multiply by 2. So 25 here, 25 multiplied by 2, you get the perimeter of OAB triangle. That's 50 centimeters. So 2 marks for that. Question number 22. A straight line with the gradient half goes through the point 4, 0. Find the intercept of the straight line. So the gradient is given. So what's the general form of a straight line? Y equals mx plus c. M is half. Half x plus c is y. We need to find out c. That's the y-intercept of a straight line. But you know, this point is on the line. Satisfy this equation. So x is 4, y is 0. So we'll substitute and find out the c value. This is 0. Half into x equals 4 plus c. So 2 times 2 here. When you take 2 to the other side, you get c equals minus 2. So what is the intercept of the equation? minus 2. So 2 marks for that. Question number 23. Find the magnitude of x using the given information. So what is given? This length is equal to this one. This length is equal to this one. So what can you say about that triangle? Midpoint theorem. When you connect the two midpoints of two sides, this line is parallel to the third side. So according to the midpoint theorem, the two lines are parallel. Then what else we know? If the two lines are parallel, this angle is same as this. Corresponding angles are equal. So this is 110. Now you can find out x. In a triangle, the sum of angles add up to 180. So x is equal to 180 minus the other two angles. So that's 110 and 40. So 180 minus 110 and 40, 150. So you get 30 degrees. So x is equal to 30 degrees. So 2 marks for that. Question number 24. Find the lowest common multiple of a squared b and 2ab squared. So what you do? You find out all the distinct factors. A squared b. A squared into b. Here you get 2 times a times b squared. So to find out the lowest common multiple, what you do? You take the maximum power of all distinct factors. When you take 2, that's power 1. What about a? A squared is there. So what's the maximum power? A squared. When you take b, what's the maximum power here? B squared. So the lowest common multiple is 2a squared, b squared. So 2 marks for that. Question number 25. Radius of the circle with center P is 4 centimeters. So this is P is the center and this is 4 centimeters given. Draw a sketch of the construction lines required to find the point X, which is at 4 centimeters from P. So that means 4 centimeters means on the circle, and also equidistance from P and Q. Now what are the 4 important loci points you need to know? You need to know equidistance from a point, that's a circle. Then equidistance from 2 points, that's the perpendicular bisector. Equidistance from 2 adjacent lines, that's the angle bisector. And the last one is equidistance from a line, that's parallel line above and below. So out of this, what is equidistance from P and Q? That means you have to construct the perpendicular bisector. So what you do? Here just a sketch. So you don't need to take the compass. You can sketch it. So what you do? You take the compass, keep it on top of P. You draw an arc below and above. And here again, keep the compass on top of Q and you can draw the 2 arcs and then you can connect it. So connect the 2 points. That's the perpendicular bisector. After that, so this length is equal to this length. So the X point is on the circle as well because 4 centimeters from P. So what are the possible points for X? It can be here or here. So you get 2 X points, either this side or this side. So you get 2 marks, but here you need to mark both X's. So 1 mark for constructing the perpendicular bisector and 1 mark for marking the correct X point. So we did all 25 short questions. So we'll look at now part B. Let's do part B. So you get 5 questions and you have to answer all 5 questions. So each question you get 10 marks. So let's do the first one. You get 4 parts for that. We'll do separately. Rajan and his brother started a business. After 1 year, 1/5 of the total profit was spent for the development of the business and the balance was divided equally between 2 of them. What is the fraction of the total profit that Ranjan gets? Ranjan spent 8,000 rupees from amount he got to make a signboard of the business. That amount is 2/25 of the total profit of the business. And then find the total profit of the business. So first we have to find out the fraction of the total profit that Rajan gets. So this is, it says after 1 year, 1/5 of the profit was spent. So what is the remaining amount there? Remaining part is 1 minus 1/5. So 1 you can write 5/5 minus 1/5. You get 4/5. So that's the remaining amount. Then what happens? So the profit spent for the development of the business and the balance was divided equally. So divided equally means you have to divide by 2. So what is the part that Rajan gets? Rajan gets 4/5. Divide by 2 means multiply by half. You get 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2/5 that Rajan gets. Then the next one, it says Rajan spent 8,000 from amount he got to make a signboard of the business. That amount is 2/25 of the total profit. So 2/25 of the total profit. So 2/25 is 8,000. So what's the total profit? Total profit is, you multiply 8,000 by 25, divide by 2. So you get 2 times 4,000, multiply by 25, what you get? That's the total profit. So you get 25 times 400 and 3 zeros. So you get 100,000 rupees is the total profit. So the second part they ask, what's the total profit of the business? That's 100,000 rupees. So we'll see how many marks for these 2 steps. According to the marking scheme, it says 2/5. You get 2 marks there. And this part, finding the total amount, also 2 marks. So you get 4 marks for these 2 steps. Now let's take the next one. Find the amount remaining with Rajan after spending 8,000 from the amount he got. So he got, no, we didn't find out the amount he got. First we have to find out the amount that Rajan gets. And then we have to subtract 8,000 from that. So what's the amount that Rajan gets? Rajans get 2/5 of total profit, 100,000 rupees. 5 times 2, then 20 into 2, 40,000 rupees that Rajan gets. So what's the remaining amount? He spent 8,000 rupees. So 40,000 minus 8,000. So you get 32,000 rupees. Now the fourth part, due to a certain reason, if 1/4 of the total profit was spent for the development of the business and the balance was divided equally between them, by what fraction will Rajan's profit drop? So here, if 1/4 is used, so what's the remaining amount? 1 minus 1/4. That means 3/4 remaining. Out of 3/4, that's divided equally. So what's the part that Rajan gets? Then Rajan gets 3/4 into half. That means 3/8. Earlier Rajan got 2/5. So what is the difference? 2/5 minus 3/8. So this is bigger. 2/5 is bigger. So 5 and 8, what's the lowest common multiple? That's 40. So 8 times 2, 16 minus 15. That's 1/40. So that's the fraction that Rajan's profit dropped, 1/40. So how many marks for this question? You get 2 marks for finding the remaining amount and 2 marks for finding Rajan's fractions now, and the difference, calculating the difference, that's 2 marks. So altogether 10 marks. 6 here and we gave 4 marks before. So 10 marks for the first question. Question number 2. This is about area and volume also there. So 5 parts are there. So we'll do separately. As shown in the figure, a semicircular and a rectangular sheet are made using a thin metal sheet. Areas of 2 figures are equal. Find the surface area of the semicircular sheet. Surface area. How you find out the area? This is semicircle. So half into pi r squared. 22/7 into r. What is r? Diameter is 28. Divide by 2, you get 14 is the radius. 14 times 14. 7 times 2. These 2 get cancelled out. So you need to multiply 22 times 14. So what's the easiest way? You can take 2 here. So 2 times 14, that's 28 times 11. You know how to multiply by 11 easily. We split the 2 numbers there and we add 8 plus 2, 10 and 1 remaining. So this becomes 308. That's the easiest way to multiply by 11. You split the 2 numbers and then we add 8 plus 2 is 10 and add 1 there. So 308. So 308 square centimeters is the answer. Find the value of h of the rectangular sheet. Now it says the 2 areas are equal. So if this is 308, this is also 308. How you find out the area of the rectangle? 308 is equal to length into width, 44h. So easily you can find h, 308 divided by 44. What's the value? We'll divide by 11. 4. 11 times 2, 22. 8. 4 times 7. So 7 centimeters is the height of one side. That's the width of the rectangular sheet. So how many marks for these two? We'll look at the marking scheme and see. 308, you get 2 marks. and 7 centimeters, 2 marks. Look at the third part. If the above rectangular sheet is curved surface of a cylinder with the height h, find the radius of the base of that cylinder. So that means, so this sheet, we roll it, this part, when you roll it, you get a cylinder with height h. So they want the radius of the cylinder. Now, what happens to this length? 44. That becomes the circumference of the circle in the base of the cylinder. So, if you draw like this, so what happens? The h is this. So, this becomes 44. So, how you find out the radius? If r is the radius, you can find out easily using 2 pi r. 2 pi, pi is 22 over 7 and radius is r is equal to 44. So, what is r? 44 multiplied by 7 and divide by 2 and 22. So, 2 and 22, 44, get cancelled out. R becomes 7 centimeters. So, the radius of the cylinder is 7 centimeters. Find the volume of the above cylinder. How you find out the volume? Pi r squared h. 22 over 7 r squared. Now, r is 7, 7, h also 7 we found before. 7, 7 get cancelled out. 7 times 7, 49. 22 times 49, what's the easiest way? You can take 2 here. 2 times 9, 18. 2 times 4, 8 plus 1, 9. 98. Times 11. What's the easiest way to multiply by 11? You split the two numbers and then you add it. 8 plus 9, 17. Put 7 and 1 remaining. So, this becomes 10. 1078. This is volume cubic centimeters. Let's see how many marks for this one. You get r equals 7, that's 2 marks. And the volume 1078, another 2 marks. There's another part. We'll see. It was a right solid cylinder. Find its total surface area. So, you have to find out the total surface area of the cylinder. What is the curved surface area? Curved surface area becomes the area of this sheet, rectangular part. So, this becomes the curved surface. So, 308. So, only thing you have to find out the area of the two circles. So, 308 plus 2 circles, 2 times pi, that's 22 over 7. The radius is 7, r squared, 7 and 7. 1, 7 gets cancelled out, 308 plus, here you can multiply by 2 and 2, 4. 4 times 7, 28 times 11. Because I want 11, it's really easy to multiply by 11. So, I took 2 from here, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 7, 28. So, 28 times 11 means you split the two terms like this, 8 plus 2, 10, 1 remaining. So, this becomes 308. So, 308 plus 308, you get 616. What's the unit? This total surface area, square centimeters. So, how many marks for this step? Again, 2 marks. So, altogether we gave 10 marks. Let's see. 2 and 4, 6 and 4, 10 marks. So, question number 2 also 10 marks. Let's do question number 3. That's about tax. And then this is about rates. So, we'll do separately. The first 500,000 of a person's income is tax-free. For the next 500,000, an income tax of 4% is charged. For all income excess, a tax of 8% is charged. So, Rasika's annual income is 740,000 rupees and the assessed annual value of the house is 45,000 rupees. Find the amount of income tax he pays. So, first 500,000 it's free. So, we'll subtract first 500,000 from that. So, the remaining amount is 240,000. So, that's less than 500,000. So, only you need to calculate the tax for this region. So, that's 4%. So, tax is equal to 4%. That's 4 over 100 into 240,000 rupees. So, 2 zeros get cancelled out. You get 4 times 4, 16, 1 remaining, 4 times 2, 8 plus 1, 9 and 2 zeros, 9,600 rupees as the tax. Then if he pays 12,300 as the sum of annual income tax and rates, find amount of annual rates he pays. The total is 12,300 and what is the rates? Rates is 12,300 minus 9,600 because the total for this and the rates is equal to 12,300. So, when you subtract what you get 7 and 10, 2,700 rupees is the annual rates he pays. So, how many marks for these two? Look at the marking scheme and see. So, 2 marks for this part and just 1 mark for subtraction. Next part. Find the percentage of annual rates charged. So, what's the amount he paid as rates? 2,700 for 45,000 is the assessed annual value. So, 2,700 for 45,000 rupees multiplied by 100% to get the percentage value. 2 zeros get cancelled out. 9 times 3, 9 times 50. 50 times 200. 2 times 3, 6%. So, 6% is the annual rates, percentage annual rates. So, how many marks for that? Again, 2 marks. Then part B, a stone wall. A stone wall of 10 meter long can be constructed by 5 men in 3 days. How many man days they should send to construct 40 meter long stone wall? Then after 5 men had worked for 6 days in constructing the above 40 meter long stone wall, 2 men left the work. Find the number of days needed to complete the task by the rest of the workers. So, we have to calculate man days and calculate. So, let's do the first part. How many man days they should send to construct 40 meter long stone wall? It says for 10 meter stone wall, 5 men, 3 days. So, what's the man days? 5 into 3, 15 man days. This is for 10-meter wall. But we need 40-meter wall. So you have to multiply by 4. So 10 times 4, you get 40. So total man days (15 times 4). 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 1, 4 plus 2, 6. 60 man days are there. Now what happens? Now if you take men and days, 5 men were there. So here 6 days worked. So how many man days completed? 5 times 6, 30 man days completed. Altogether they need 60 man days. So what's the remaining man days? Remaining man days, 60 minus 30, you get 30. Now it says 2 men left the work. So then how many men are there? 5 minus 2, 3. Find the number of days needed to complete the task by the rest of the workers. Now remaining man days 30. 3 men are there. So how many days? 30 divided by 3. They need 10 days to complete the work. So how many marks for this? You get 2 marks for 60 man days, calculating total, and 10 days you get 3 marks there. Each step 1 mark. So 3 marks for this. 3 plus 2, 5, 7 and 3, 10 marks for that question as well. Let's do 4th one. It's about statistics. So a table is given and you are asked to find out. You're asked to draw the histogram and draw frequency polygon. So let's do this question separately. A frequency distribution using the number of coconuts plucked in a turn of a coconut estate is given below. Complete the class boundaries column in the table. So these are class limits. So how you find out the boundaries? You add 11 and 12 and divide by 2. 11 plus 12, you get 23. Divide by 2, 11.5. Here also, you always add and divide by 2. You get 0.5 here. 15.5, 19.5, 23.5 and 31.5. So what about the lower limit? Lower boundary. This one is the same as this. So 11.5, 15.5, 19.5 and 23.5. But how you find out the first one? You subtract 0.5 from that. 8 minus 0.5, 7.5. So those are the boundaries. So how many marks? So you get 2 marks for calculating the boundaries. Part 2. Represent the information of the frequency distribution including class boundaries by a histogram on the given grid. So we found out now boundaries 7.5 to 11.5. So we'll use these boundaries to construct the histogram. Just check whether all bits are the same. Not only this one, all the other lengths are 11.5 minus this, you get 4. So this is 4, 4, 4, 4. But here What's this one? 31 minus 23. 1.5 get cancelled out now. 8. So this one is not the same. So make sure that you divide. Only for this interval you have to divide. So when you divide by 4, you get 1, 1, 1, 1. Here this is double. So you have to divide 4, divide by 2. That's 2. So make sure that you do that. First check whether the widths are the same. Now we can construct the histogram. So in the histogram, this is number of coconuts here. This is number of trees. Number of trees. Number of coconuts. So no need to start from 0. So we can put a line like this and we can start 7.5 here, no? So this one 11.5, 15.5, 19.5, 23.5. Now here you have to add how much? 4. When you add 4, 27.5 comes here and then only 31.5. This one. Now we have the intervals. And what about the frequencies? Number of trees, maximum is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we can take 1 for 1 square. Now we'll draw the histogram. 7.5 to 11.5, that's 2. This one. 11.5 to this one is 5. Then 15.5 to this, that's 7. Then 19.5 to 23, that's 6. And the other one, you have to take 2 each. So 2 for this one. So 2 and 2. So 2 and 2. So 2 each, 2 and 2 here, 4. So this is the histogram. Now we have to draw the frequency polygon. So how you draw the frequency polygon? You have to mark the midpoints of the bars. So here we'll mark these midpoints. And this one, each bar you have to mark the midpoint. And what you do? Mark the midpoint of the next interval here and previous one here. Now you can connect all the midpoints. That's called the frequency polygon. So you get this one is the frequency polygon. So we did histogram as well as the frequency polygon. So how many marks for those two? So you are getting, this is third part, 3 marks for histogram and marking the midpoints, and marking these points, endpoints, another 1 mark. So 4 marks altogether. So we'll see whether it's correct. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 and 2. So you need to give another 1 mark for connecting all the midpoints. So that's 7 altogether. 3, 4, 5 and 2, 7 marks. And the last part you are getting 3 marks. So we'll see the last part. It says the coconut plucker charges 80 rupees for a tree that can be plucked less than or equal to 15 coconuts, and 110 rupees for the trees that can be plucked more than 50 coconuts. Find the total amount he charged to pluck coconuts. So what's 80 rupees? That's less than or equal to 15. Less than or equal to 15 means these two. That's just 80 rupees. And more than 15, that's these three, that's 110 rupees. So how many trees are there less than 15? 7. So 7 times 80. And then how many trees above 15? 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 4, 17. 17 times 110. So that's the total amount he charged. So multiply and get the answer. 0, 7 times 8, 56. Plus, here 0, 11 times 7, 77. 11 times 1, 11 plus 7, 18. So what's the total? 0, 7 and 6, 13, 1 remaining. And this is 6 plus 8, 14, 1 remaining. That's 2,430 rupees. So how many marks for that? You get 3 marks for this answer. So altogether we gave 10 marks for this question. So let's do the last question in this paper. Let's do the last question in this paper. That's probability question. You get tree diagrams and sample space diagrams. So let's do this question separately. So question number 5. The debate team of Piyagama Vidyalaya with 2 boys and 3 girls was trained for upcoming competitions. The group leader was selected randomly as all of them had same skills. On the given grid, represent all the relevant event of selecting the leader and the deputy leader S among boys B and girls G. Encircle the event of a boy obtaining the leadership and a girl obtaining the deputy leadership and write its probability. So, who are the people? Girls and boys. How many girls are there? 3 girls and 2 boys. So, B1, we'll take B1, B2, B3. 3 boys and, no, 2 boys. So, that means B1, B2 and 3 girls. G1, G2, G3. That's the leader selecting. So, again we can write B1, B2, G1, G2, G3. That's for the deputy leader. If the first boy is selected as the leader, he can't again take the position deputy leader. So, here if it's B1, these are the possibilities you can get. If this is B2, he can't take the same position B2. All the other positions he can take. G1, if he selected as the leader, she can't take again the deputy leader position. And G2 is the same, second girl. Same position, can't take with the same person. So you get this diagram. So together how many possibilities? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 outcomes are there. So 20 outcomes are there. But we need encircle the event of a boy obtaining the leadership. Boy obtaining the leadership and girl obtaining the deputy leader. So B1 here, B1 and B2 and girls. So this is the required part. And what is this probability? Out of 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 is there. So 6 over 20 divided by 2, you get 3 over 10. So how many marks for this part? So you are getting 2 marks for the diagram and separating this one, that's 1 mark, and calculating the probability, 1 mark. So 4 marks for these 2 parts. Let's take the next one. Second part. Among the above 5 students, a boy or a girl was selected as the leader. Represent the corresponding probabilities in the tree diagram. So how many boys are there? 2 boys out of 5. So 2 over 5 is selecting a boy as the leader. So this is the leader, selecting the boy as a leader. What's the probability of getting a leader as a girl? So how many girls are there? 3 out of 5. So that's the first part. Then according to the opinion of the teacher in charge of the team, probability of winning the competition is 2/3 if a boy is appointed as the leader. And the probability of winning is 1/2 if a girl is appointed as the leader. Extend the above tree diagram representing the relevant probabilities. So winning. So you get winning or losing. Winning or losing. So what's the probability if a boy is selected as a leader? So the winning chance is 2/3. If a girl is selected as the leader, winning chance is 1/2. Now we can fill the other probabilities. The probability is equal to 1. 2/3 is there, so this becomes 1/3. This is 1/2 is there, so the other one is 1/2. So that's the tree diagram. So how many marks for this? So according to this one, you are getting 3 marks for this tree diagram. Now let's do the last part. Find the probability of winning the competition by the team. So it can be a leader as the girl or a leader as the boy. So what are the branches we can take? We can take this branch, boy and winning, or girl and winning. So 2 branches are there. 2/5 into 2/3, 2/5 into 2/3, or what's the other one? 3/5 and 1/2. 3/5 and 1/2. So what's the answer? You can't cross out any common terms. So 4 over 15 plus 3 over 10. So what's the lowest common multiple of 15 and 10? That's 30. So 2 times 4, 8. 3 times 3, 9. 8 plus 9, 17 over 30 is the probability of winning. So how many marks for that? So you get 3 marks. So let's see whether you get all 10 marks. 3 here and 3 for this 6 and 4, 10 marks. So here we did all questions in paper 1. So what's the first thing you have to do? You have to first do the paper and then watch my video to check your answers.